A feature on the Bernina 790 is pinpoint placement. So that means that you can align up any design onto any fabric, and I'm going to show you actually on this tea towel, and I'm going to do it by technically hooping crooked. So I like to actually do tea towels with just a water soluble stabilizer. This is like a aqua mesh, so this will totally wash away when it's all done. And I've hooped that up first, and then I'm actually going to just kind of lay my towel into the general area of my embroidery. Now I've gone ahead and marked the center of my design, so once I actually pull it up, you can see what I'm trying to line up for. Now yes, I can get this so nice and straight and check where my little marks are, but yes, there's a time where you can get that in, but you still get it just a little crooked. So I'm going to actually over-exaggerate this to show you how easy it is to position something if your fabrics come out of the hoop, if you got to kind of restart something, if you're realigning something that you've already stitched and doing again and again and again, maybe doing a border across a long area, a tablecloth or a runner, something that you're hooping over and over and over. You don't have to hoop perfect anymore with this feature. So first thing I've done is I've actually put my sewingmastery.com logo on a USB stick, so it is ready to come in. It does fit in this oval hoop, but I am going to make it just a little larger just for fun, so I'm going to kind of max it out on screen here. Okay, so now we need to figure out how to get everything all aligned. The pinpoint placement is this little box with the tilted square in the middle. And as we go over here, we're going to see where we can do a couple different alterations. Now I was playing around, so I bet we're zoomed in quite a bit, and I want to explain a couple options. So if you're actually fairly straight in your hooping, you could only or would only use like part of this, but if you're totally going to be hooped and crooked, you'll use kind of two parts of this section. So the first part is being able to bring up a grid. Now since this particular logo is long and skinny, there are actually 9 boxes that come up. Well, there is a box in the center that could help us find the center point. So if I wanted to touch that box, the needle has moved to the center of it, and then I can use the knobs on the side here that allow us to adjust it left or right. You can hear the hoop is actually moving. So just to show you again, I am going to just kind of position this kind of in the center. Since my design is fairly long, I need to kind of be where I will be able to tilt this into position, but I'm really just going to kind of lay that down there. Now, before I start to actually stitch, we will be showing you how to do a basting in the hoop box. So this tea towel stays connected to my hoop stabilizer when I'm all done. But for right now, it's just going to sit here and really not move as I do the adjustments on screen. So the first thing I've done is pull up the grid, select the center box. If I had something that I was selecting, maybe it was the lower part of your design, you can actually select any one of these corners or edges. Well, right now I really need to know where the center of this design is. So I want to go ahead and select the center box only. My needle is being locked in, and so I could do one of two things. I could even move the towel to the position, and I'll bring the needle down to double check. But let's just say I wanted to move that to the location. Now we're using these knobs, and I can kind of come in, bring the needle down. I'm turning my hand wheel just to see if I'm close, not there, so I'm going to turn my needle back. I'm going to bring it down, and until we can lock that right into position, we will find I'm really, really close there. Probably just a hair more. Okay, so now that first lock is set, but I need to actually tell the machine that that's a happy place. So touch set. After you've set a point, I'm going to find that actually this area over here on the side, so let's zoom in a little bit more, and then you can just kind of move this so you can see it. I really need to be on the line in the center, so I'm going to select that second location. So you can see right now at the needle that I'm way low, obviously, because I have tilted this towel quite a bit. So I'm going to bring that needle all the way back up, and I'm going to use the lower knob to start to swing it up. So it's tilting the design up. It's moving my needle towards that line. So I'm going to just keep going until my needle will be on that line there, and then that way it will come into position. Now this top knob would actually make the design kind of longer or shorter. So if I needed this M at the end of my website name here, .com, to be a little longer, I could actually expand that out. So if I made it longer, that's what it'll do, is kind of fill in an area, or if it's too big, you could kind of push it in. So one knob is for one totally different thing, but the one we want to keep using right now is the one that is twisting this, tilting it, rotating it into position. But it has locked it on that other location, so that's what we're able to see here, is that everything is coming into kind of like pivoting on that center point. So once I get that to where I want it to be, I can go ahead and touch set. So I can see that my design right here on screen actually matches what my fabric is and tilted. So yes, this hasn't been kind of secured just yet. This project isn't moving anywhere in particular. So once I'm ready to sew, just come out of the pinpoint positioning, touch the needle and thread to go to the stitch out area, and it's ready to start sewing the first part. Before I do anything, I do want to use that basting in the hoop function, and I'm going to baste this particular project, this fabric, to the stabilizer first. I am a fan of some water-soluble stabilizer on top of my tea-towels. Just keeps the design kind of lifted up and out of the area here. So we're just going to go ahead and let it start stitching. As you can see by the lower edge of the tea towel, this design is perfectly aligned, even though it was just set in the hoop at any particular angle. So Bernina Pinpoint Placement is the most amazing thing to help embroiderers not worry about having to get it all the way hooped perfectly straight every single time. Definitely take time to play with this feature so you can understand how to make it work in your embroidery studio.